is a huge one on 3rd and 3, and then it pays off, does the drive with this means bulling into the end zone.
And by that angle, into the end zone relatively easily.
Mike Hollis for the point after. And so the Jacksonville Jaguars have scrambled back into the game with a long drive. 5:09 left in the first. Began that last drive without a single first down in the game until that point. And Greg Robinson's defense had barely been on the field until that last drive. John Elway has guided his team to 3 touchdowns, but Jacksonville gets back into the game as Hollis kicks off for the Jaguars. And it's a ground ball that winds up in the end zone and is down there by Hebron.
Almost eerie in talking to Tom Coughlin last night. He said, we just kind of are planning on them getting ahead of us early because that's the way they play. They come out, pick up the momentum, and they particularly play that way here in Denver. And it's almost kind of eerie that he came up with that. And now they come back and they get themselves back into the game.
They've had the lead in every game this season, including the Monday night game in San Francisco when they were leading 10-0. And by the time that one was done, they were a 34-17 loser, and Terrell Davis had a separated shoulder.
I'm not sure he saw himself behind 21-0.
No. First down from the 20-yard line. Elway with a lot of time, and underneath hits Terrell Davis for a short gain, tackled by Hardy. Might have seen himself down 12-0, but not 21-0.
Maybe a touchdown or something like that.
Davis laughing because he had to catch that ball in self-defense.
Did you see the block
deep downfield?
Watch the block on the left side by Howard Griffith as he just jackhammers Brian Schwartz, the middle linebacker. Now that is the way a fullback is supposed to step up and create a pocket for his quarterback.
2nd and 8, Davis again.
When a running back gets over 1,700 yards and has a year like Terrell Davis has had here in Denver, it's just like Emmitt Smith in Dallas. Go to the fullback and give that guy a whole lot of credit. And instead of Moose Johnston in Dallas here, it's Howard Griffith. This guy is a ball player.
3rd down and 5, and again on 3rd down, sometimes 3rd down stats are irrelevant. In this particular case, extremely relevant.
They do it again with 4 wides.
9 for 9, 3rd and 5.
The 5th one if you count Shannon Sharp, and that's what he is.
Elway throws.
Got to hold him
for 10, but
you got to hold him.
Smith.
It's coming back.
And Wayne Weaver, the owner of the Jaguars, at first frustrated by what he saw, but he'll be a lot happier after this call that will probably go against Mark Schlereth.
It's really tough. It's only a 4-man rush by the Jaguars.
69 on the offense, but the 10-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
It's a matchup you got to like as an offensive lineman. It's just 5. It's your 5 against their 4 when you're in that 5-receiver spread. But just the fact that Mark Schlereth is out on the field is quite a performance. There he is on the left, number 69. You see he gets the left arm on the outside of Joel Smengi. And that brought flags from 2 different directions.
Schlereth has had 20 surgeries since high school. The last one for a disc.
I think 11 on the left knee and 5 on the right knee.
Unbelievable.
That is.
3rd and 15, and Elway throws, and Willie Green made the catch, but they're going to say no. He never had possession. The ball was jarred loose. Aaron Beasley smacked him, and it's 4th down.
And Elway was drilled.
What a great throw on the part of John Elway. He knew he was going to get creamed, and he hit his receiver right in stride.
He got creamed by Simmons.
He knew he was going to get this. Threw off balance, still had enough on it, and gets the ball to Willie Green. Willie Green tried to tuck it away, but he takes a shot from Beasley, and he never had control.
Keep in mind, you have to demonstrate possession, and in the NFL nowadays, that involves getting both feet on the ground with possession of the football, and Green didn't get close.
Delay a game on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
On 4th and 15, a delay of game takes them back to the 10. Rick Dennison is the special teams coach.
Jacksonville should get this ball in real good field position.
Shanahan worked up.
Well, he realizes, as Frank said, Jacksonville's probably going to get good field position. Plenty of time.
Tom Ruin into that swirling wind, and it's a floater. Barlow fields at the 34 and gets taken down at the 49-yard line by Randy Hilliard.
Well, what a play by Hilliard. Came around the block to make the stop and get the max out of that punt.
That was Denver's first kick. 3 minutes remaining now in the first half.
Whole lot of things swirling around Ruin, and once he gets that ball away, trips and stumbles over his own guy.
And once a punter sees that he can get the ball away, he'll take the ball from anyone. His old man, he'll try and draw the penalty, and then you see the extracurricular things that go on.
Well, Dave Thomas just falls on top of Ruin and says, hey, I got him.
Yep.
I think there are more dangerous people to block than the punter.
First and 10 from the 49-yard line. Little swing pass out here to James Stewart. Nice tackle from behind. Alfred Williams grabs him.
Well, that was really nice hustle by Alfred Williams because he's cut to the ground by Baselli. It's Baselli's responsibility to get his hands down so you can complete the pass. A lot of defensive linemen just end up staying on the ground. Alfred hops right up, hustles back in. Watch here in the bottom. Baselli's going to cut Williams right there. He gets his hands down. Alfred, who never went all the way to the ground, that's just nice hustle, getting back into the play by Williams.
Second down and 7. Jags have all of their timeouts and the 2-minute warning. Into traffic intended for Mitchell, but covered by Gordon and Mobley as well. It'll be third down.
Mobley all over the field once again for Denver. Had a great year. Didn't make the Pro Bowl. A lot of people wonder why he didn't. 4 sacks. He had an interception for a touchdown. He had 3 forced fumbles. The fumble recovery. He did it all. The leading tackler. And he is so quick. He is all over the field.
Yet he made the AP All-Pro team, which is quite an honor.
He made the Monday Night All-Pro team.
And some vindication for John Mobley.
Third and 7 from the 48-yard line. And it is deflected, intended for Jimmy Smith.
I think Gordon might have got it.
Darian Gordon coming in, got a hand on it. Very unusual call in that circumstance.
Well, it's a very effective corner blitz called by Greg Robinson. Gordon's lined up on the slot receiver and comes.
Well, it's a hokey little screen out to the outside flanker with a one-man blocker in front of it. And it is destructed right here. Darian Gordon coming on the blitz, spots it and goes up and bats it away.
Good adjective for that screen, a hokey little screen. Barker. Line drive kick fielded by Gordon at the 14-yard line, and Darian Gordon comes all the way back out to the 28-yard line as we reach the 2-minute warning. So Elway takes over, trying to extend the lead. 6 p.m. Eastern time. Brett Favre will be there. John Elway will be there.
Mark Grinnell's going there.
Yep.
5 reps from either team playing here today.
First half possessions, 3 touchdowns and a punt for Denver. Now possession 5. Elway has all of his timeouts. 2 minutes to go. Inside give. Terrell Davis slips to the opening and is taken down at the 32-yard line after a gain of 5. Took a big hit. Beasley and Brackens converge on the tackle with 148 and took him down.
Well, if Terrell hops up from that,
shaking his head a little bit, but he did hop up.
With an intact shoulder, it is all right. That was a major collision between Brackens and Davis at the conclusion of that play.
Davis, 19 carries in the first half. Second down and 4. And now his 20th carry. A first down as he takes it out to the 43. Chris Hudson hits him.
Boy, that's the type of run.
Are you sure, Al?
After day, he was the hit team.
Yeah, I was going to say, you might want to rephrase that.
Yeah, that's the kind of running, though, that can take a life right out of a team. Just bulling over tacklers that could have kept him short of the first down.
They take the life out of Hudson. Number 37 was on the receiving end. He gets credit for a tackle.
Did you get that license plate? He was really hammered.
That is a statistical term. This is a remarkable performance by Terrell Davis, that he has already touched the ball 23 times in the first half of play. A guy that coming into this game, questionable how effective he was going to be not only is he effective, he is punishing as well.
Chris Hudson really took a shot. He'll think twice next time.
1st and 10 after Denver's first timeout from the 43. Broncos up by 14. Elway under pressure, loses the football, and is able to find it and recover it himself back at the 33-yard line.
Now that'll be a sack. John Elway back to throw, getting stripped of the football, and lost it for a minute, didn't find it. And luckily, nobody from Jacksonville saw it quickly either.
It takes a Major League Denver bounce. Is that his own man?
I don't think so. One of the Jaguars stripped it. Is it Smingy right there?
Smingy?
Yeah.
Yep. Got a hand in there.
Got a hand, reached in and pulled it out.
And 2nd down and 19, back to the ground. And this time, Davis doesn't go very far. Clyde Simmons ties in at the 36-yard line. And now Jacksonville is going to take a timeout. It's just going to be 3rd down and long for Denver. So the Jaguars take the timeout. Davis has now carried 21 times. The record for most carries in a postseason game is shared by Ricky Bell of Tampa Bay in 1979 and John Riggins of the Redskins in the Super Bowl following the 82 season. They each carried 38 times. Davis 21 carries in the first half.
What Tom Coughlin has to do with his ball club when he gets in there at halftime is talk to them about how we have not taken advantage of our field position. They've had the ball 4 times, and their touchdown drive started with their worst field position back at their own 21-yard line. They had the ball at their own 30, 3 and out, a punt. They had it at their own 49, 3 and out, a punt. They started at the Denver 49, 3 and out, and a punt. They have had their opportunities from a field position standpoint and done nothing with it.
3rd down and 18, and no play. Whistles before the snap. Shannon Sharp was moving.
That's one of our pet peeves, Frank. Flexed out like that.
No reason in the world.
False start. Number 84 on the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
You're looking in at the ball, but it happens.
He's split out about 3 or 4 yards from his offensive tackle in the bottom left of your screen. There's Shannon Sharp.
Looking at the ball all the way.
That's just a loss of concentration.
Elway on 3rd down. But this is the first time he's faced a 3rd and 23.
Not only has he completed 6 out of 7, but every one of those 6 completions went for a first down.
They have to get to the Jaguar 47 to convert. Elway slides to a stop at the 28, and now Jacksonville takes the timeout with 27 seconds remaining.
John Elway playing it very conservative there. He didn't want to turn it over, give Jacksonville the ball at midfield again.
Maturity is a wonderful thing, isn't it?
Yeah, there were times that he would have been hurtling over Jacksonville Jaguars.
Exactly right.
Throwing his body into the path of everything.
That ball might have been flying across the middle of the field trying to complete a dangerous pass that might make the highlight reel, either of your team or theirs.
Yet he's coming off one of his best seasons ever, the most touchdowns he's ever had on a season. Quarterback rating 87.5, and for John, that represents about, I think, the 3rd highest of his career.
So Brunell's going to take over. He has 1 timeout, and they have the Pro Bowl kicker in Mike Hollis, if they can work themselves into field goal range. Tom Ruin to punt. Reggie Barlow back to accept it. And the ball dies in the wind. It takes a good Denver bounce, a great Denver bounce under the circumstance, and the Broncos just wait and wait and wait.
And the clock runs and runs and runs.
Dead. Yep, 17 seconds.
Yep.
On that play.
That's as perfect as it could be for Denver.
Just about everything working against Jacksonville here in the first half.
So Larry Pasquale, the special teams coach. They had Barlow back there, but Barlow couldn't come up to make the catch because the wind knocked it down. And now instead of looking for a play that gets them into field goal range, I would suspect they'll just run out the clock.
I think we all came into this game wondering how Terrell Davis was going to be. Dan touched on it.
Straight up the middle into Denver territory, and the second half begins with a big run back forced out by Tim McKyer. And down at one point 21-0 and now 21-7. And with their personnel, and Tom Coughlin doesn't look like he's necessarily a happy man, but he's so intense and so into it. But this team with a ton of time and the right people to make things happen.
Great field position. I think they have all the confidence. I don't think they were shaken up by the fact they got down 21-0 because they knew they could come back. They talked about it yesterday. They maybe would get down. Denver does that, and they get off to great starts, and here they are.
58-yard run back. And out of the I formation, and it's Natron Means, and it's a good time to go back to the running game and bring it inside the 25 to the 23-yard line.
Yeah, in reality, for Tom Coughlin right now, he's got to treat this as a nothing ball game. He can't act like he's 14 points behind. And just, again, the score reflects the complete domination by the Denver Broncos. 246 yards of offense at one half is just super.
Second down and 6, and the Jaguars, because they were trailing early, only 18 yards on the ground. But now Natron Means with his second run takes it to the 20-yard line. It'll be third down and 3.
And Denver has had problems during the course of the year handling big backs. And you're right, if I'm Chris Palmer, I keep coming at them here with Natron Means. They only have to cover 20 yards here, and you saw that yardage disparity. They've only got to cover 20 yards here to make this a one-touchdown football game. That's more than anybody who's rooting for Jacksonville could ask for.
Big third down play, 3rd and 3 at the 20-yard line. Blitz, Brunell throws, but the pass is incomplete. Would have been short anyway had McCardell been able to hold on.
It was short, he couldn't handle it. And now what will Jacksonville do? They leave Mark Brunell on the field on 4th down. Now they rethink it, and out comes the kicking unit. For a moment, well, I think Tom thought about going for it, changed his mind. And it was a good decision.
Mike Hollis, he'll go to the Pro Bowl. But that's the second time in a row on a key third down play that Jacksonville has come up short. This is a 38-yarder. Hollis kicks it off the upright, and it bangs through. Karam shot from 38. They kick for the Denver Broncos as they get the ball for the first time in the second half. 13:33 left in the third. The Broncos leading 21-10. Mike Hollis. Hebron drops it at the 1 and picks it up at the 3. And gets tackled up at the 15-yard line. And let's get an update from Lynn Swan. Lynn.
Well, I talked to Tom Coughlin as he came out for the second half, and he said in the first half, his entire team, offensively and defensively, were unsettled. He said they weren't into that game. He said he wished he could take back a couple of plays that were called. He should have run the ball a little bit more. He said coming out in the second half, they're going to try and do the things that were successful for them on the touchdown drive. The short passes, he believes Mark can throw the ball deep down the field, even with the wind. Al?
All right, a promising beginning, Lynn, to that first drive, but it ended with a field goal. And now Davis picks up where he leaves off in the first half, up to the 22-yard line on this 22nd rush of the afternoon.
Yeah, what a shocking turn of developments that they'd handed off to Terrell Davis.
Well, you know that the defensive unit for Jacksonville and Dan and Al talked about different ways to stop Terrell Davis, and you got to fill every gap with this guy, or you're not going to stop. And you know that was their prime consideration when they came back out. For him on the very first play to rip off 7 yards, that's got to hurt.
Well, they have got to walk Travis Davis up to the line of scrimmage. They have got to get their safeties involved, and of course that leaves them open to the play action.
Davis picks up the first down, 5 more yards, now has 95 on the afternoon. First down. This wild card playoff game is being brought to you by Lay's. Make your lunch special with Lay's. Nissan, who reminds you that life is a journey. Enjoy the ride. And Miller Lite, now official beer sponsor of the NFL.
Dick Duran has no choice now but to put at least 8. And in that last play, he had 9 people relatively close to the line of scrimmage. At some point in time, John Elway has got to test a deep post off a play action.
Free play for John.
Yep. As it was Brian Schwartz coming across the line.
Jacksonville on the blitz, mistimed the count. and they'll get the offsides.
Referee Bernie Kukar.
Offside on the defense, number 58. Up to 5-yard penalty, still first down.
1st and 5. Now, the winner of this game will have to wait until tomorrow's AFC game between New England and Miami is over to know where they are going.
Here comes the blitz. Schwartz just mistiming it.
Winner of this game will either go to Pittsburgh or Kansas City. If Miami wins tomorrow, the winner of this game will go to Pittsburgh. Otherwise, if New England wins, they go to KC. Elway throws, and Sharp can't one-handed. He was covered by the linebacker, Kevin Hardy.
Well, he was covered well. It made John put him in a position of having to throw the perfect pass rather than risk the interception. And Kevin Hardy had pretty good coverage on Sharp, who is still not caught a football today.
And it's really a matchup that, you know, Mike Shanahan and Gary Kubiak wanted.
Love it.
Shannon Sharp locked up in man coverage all the way with Hardy.
Well, look at Hardy. He's right there forcing John to throw the perfect pass if he's going to get a completion.
And he lost his shoe. Sharp threw a shoe on the play and comes out now, and Dwayne Carswell comes in. Second down and 5.
Shoeless Shannon Sharp.
It's Terrell Davis with his shoes on and everything else working in full and good order today to the 39-yard line.
Big play off a blitz defense. Once again, Denver blocking it out really well. And we have a Jaguar slow getting up.
Brian Schwartz. Meanwhile, Sammy Winder with 102 yards in a playoff game against New England. That has been the Denver postseason record. And Terrell Davis right now at 102. Tying the mark by Prudential. Just one team has beaten the same opponent on the road in postseason play in consecutive years. Washington at Chicago in 86 and 87. That's something the Jaguars are trying to accomplish today. And in 87, as Brian Schwartz is okay, and he's off for this play, and so is Clyde Simmons. In 87, the Skins go on to win the Super Bowl. Now Elway on 1st and 10 throws. Caught by Sharp, who's been pretty quiet to this point today. That's his first catch.
Skins went on to win that Super Bowl by beating Denver.
Yep. After Denver had a 10-0 lead.
Super Bowl 22, I believe,
right
at the then Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego.
This ball delivered to Shannon Sharp. It only picked up about 4 yards on the play, but after it was over, John Elway walked over to him, and they both kind of high-fived it. I think they realize they've got something started now. This is his first reception.
Second down and 4. Davis to the 47, setting up a 3rd and 2. Payne and Robinson converge on the tackle.
Shannon Sharp, the leading receiver for the Broncos. And it makes sense that Jacksonville has tried to take him out of the game, but they've gone back to covering him with a linebacker, and I got a feeling we're going to see a lot of him here in the second half. Have to work on his shoe problem.
3rd down and a short 2. Davis juggled it and hit popped back at the line of scrimmage by Brian Schwartz, who was out for a play, comes back in and makes a very big play here.
Now, the best tackle of the day for Jacksonville defensively, not only stopping Denver from getting a first down, but making a bit of a statement as well. That was simply a sensational play for a middle linebacker. Watch him scrape. There's his fullback out front, right into the hole. That's his hole. And boy, not often do you see Terrell Davis go backwards after the contact is made.
Tom Ruin has it blocked. And not only is it blocked, Travis Davis came up with the ball. An amazing play.
I don't think that ball ever touched the ground.
I don't think so either. He blocked it and caught it. Unbelievable.
Huge play for Jacksonville.
I don't think I've ever seen a ball come off the punter's foot and just stick in the midsection of the guy that blocked it.
I think you used the operative word, Dan. It just stuck in there. It came right off the foot.
That looked like it was a Velcro stuck to Travis Davis's stomach. He's going to come in on the left side. He comes in right up the middle, untouched. And that ball never did touch the ground. Will you look at that?
Bounced off his chest, and he caught it.
First of all, a complete blow by the Denver punt team, allowing a guy to come up the middle untouched. Rick Dennison has to be out of his mind.
Mike Hollis for the point after. Ruin did not have a punt block during the entire regular season. 9:16 left in the third. How about this one? At one point, 21-0. Right now, 21-17.
To let Davis run loose up the middle.
Hollis's kickoff. Hebron from the 3-yard line. And Vaughn Hebron reignites the Broncos. Out of bounds at the Jaguar 45.
Hebron was questionable before today's game. They made him come out and run sprints 2 hours before the game to determine whether he was even going to suit up or not. Two key special teams plays here in the third quarter.
Another look at the blocked punt by Travis Davis. Bruin never had a chance. You can't do much about a guy that comes up the middle completely untouched. And in a game where they are being dominated in so many respects, Jacksonville only less than a touchdown behind. This is some turnaround.
51-yard run back. Elway throws. And it will be 2nd and 10, intended for Rod Smith. Of late, one of Jacksonville's problems has been, coming down the stretch in the regular season, coverage on kickoffs.
And Denver's problem has been blowing leads, having leads. And you can't tell me that every guy in a Denver uniform right now doesn't have some nagging doubt about what the heck is going on out here. Leads against the 49ers, against the Steelers, against the Chiefs.
Surveys and hits Davis on a swing pass. He's ridden down at the 40-yard line. Tackle made by Robinson. It'll set up a 3rd down and 4.
One of the reasons that Davis has so many receptions, over 40 on the year, he has good hands. Not only is he a terrific running back, this guy can catch the football. That was a spin around and a fine catch. Brian George, we saw him earlier go off the field, came back and made a terrific 3rd down stop. Is back on. Perfectly all right.
3rd down 4. 8.5 to go in the third. Elway throws, and that's incomplete, intended for Green. There's the flag, and there comes the flag. Dave Thomas.
Thomas celebrating a little too early. Just wait till it's over, Dave.
This flag came in from about 20 yards downfield. Anytime there's only one flag thrown, the conference asking everybody else what they saw.
It's a hold against Jacksonville. Automatic first.
Number 41 on the defense. That's a 5-yard penalty and a first down.
Well, Dave Thomas had a grip on Willie Green's jersey, even though he had inside help.
When you look at it from that angle, that's exactly what the official down the field saw, and no question that he held it.
Meanwhile, that Travis Davis block was such a shocking development when you think about it. And if Coughlin did, it probably should have gone for 2 points to make it 21-18. 1st and 10 from the 35. Travis, this is Davis, Terrell Davis, stopped by Travis Davis, but not until he picks up the first down.
Yeah, I guess, Al, what he's thinking is what stage of the ball game it is, and maybe that's not as important. You know, when we're still not even halfway through the third quarter.
This is what you call your basic north and south. Terrell Davis not even thinking about veering right or left.
But when you look at that chart, it says whether to go for 1 or to go for 2. Certainly when you're down by 5, it's to go for 2.
By 4 points, by 5 at 21-16. Davis takes the ball to the 20-yard line.
He's just pounding his own men out of his path. Sometimes when you're the lead blocker, like Howard Griffith is, and a good one of the best around, you take